White playing, apparently,
Yeah.
if those numbers were accurate, which they're not.
No,
There's no Betty White playing.
not
to
quite
100.
90.
You know?
Hope to get to 90, but not quite 90 at the moment. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, the Giants trade Dexter Lawrence to the Bengals. A.J. Brown appears to be New England bound, and the Stanley Cup playoffs are underway. But we begin today with the NBA playoffs. All 16 teams have now played one game. The teams you would expect to win big, Oklahoma City, San Antonio, Boston, they all won big. But there were two rather surprising results. The Lakers beat the Rockets, shooting 61% from the field and 53% from three. And the 8th seed in the East, Orlando, beat the 1 seed, Detroit, in Detroit by 11 points. Wilbon, which game gave us the more surprising result?
Orlando. Not close. Orlando. And Tony, it didn't start out the season with that being a surprising result if you look forward. I thought Orlando was going to be like a 4 seed, maybe have home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs. When you got Banchero and Wagner, these guys are just as talented as Cade Cunningham in various ways, different ways. Banchero's overall number 1. Orlando's supposed to be better. Orlando was a disappointment all season. They woke up and beat Charlotte, beat the daylights out of Charlotte to get to face Detroit. And then they go up to Detroit where you think, okay, Cade Cunningham is back. Detroit's there in full. Detroit's going to flex on Orlando. No, Orlando now, 2 games in a row, has looked like a team that's a real threat in the East that most people thought were going to be a threat going in. So I don't know why they weren't what they were supposed to be in the regular season. It's only a 2-game sample.
That's all.
But wow, come on, that's a good game.
I'm going to go the other way. I happened to watch both these games. I don't know how it happened. Maybe the Nats games were over. Maybe the golf was over. But I lucked into watching both these games, and I would disagree with you in this regard. I think the Lakers winning is a bigger deal. And I understand Kevin Durant didn't play. I saw that. But I didn't think the Lakers could win any games without Doncic and Reeves. I did not.
Even with Kevin Durant out.
No, and I didn't think they could shoot like they shot. I did not. You know, the Rockets last led at 4-2. The Lakers, from the beginning of the game, did very well. People need to realize this. You only get assists on made baskets. It's not nice passes. The basket has to be made. LeBron James had 8 assists in the first quarter.
Yeah.
He had 10 in the first half. Luke Kennard did not miss. He went 5 for 5 from 3. He had 27 points, which is more than he had in any regular season game. So to me, you know, that was most surprising. I thought the Lakers couldn't shoot like that forever, but they did in that game shoot like that forever. I understand what you're saying about Orlando because you were one of those guys. We've had a number of guys on this show who pointed at Banchero specifically and said he's not having what we think he's supposed to have.
That's right.
And a lot of people said, and the coach is coaching for his job, and it's not his fault, it's Banchero's fault, right?
And I agree with
I think it's a surprise because it's a 1-8. But I agree with you that Orlando has quite a bit of talent.
They do.
Do you want to hear a short, odd fact that I think is relevant here?
Sure.
Okay. The Detroit Pistons have now lost 11 straight home playoff games. This stretches back to 2008. That's over 5 series now. That's not a small sample now. So
and it's loud, it's passionate, it's a great place to watch a game, and they don't win.
So now every pro team has about 12 assistant coaches, if not more. Do they have a team psychiatrist? Because they need a team psychiatrist. 11 in a row at home is never supposed to happen.
No, and that's just not very Detroit-like. So but going back for a second, if Kevin Durant doesn't play, and we don't know, it's a knee, it doesn't sound like it's something that's supposed to keep him out for a whole series. If Kevin Durant doesn't play, the Lakers will win that series. Plain and simple.
Okay.
You take away Durant.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
That cancels out Luka, right?
It's Luka and Reeves. It's like 45 points. It's a lot of points.
Man, Orlando. Can Orlando win the series? From what you saw yesterday.
Don't go down.
I know you always say
3 weeks
game
away.
1 is the easiest game. No, the series.
No, but it's 3 weeks away till the end of the series. It's going to go on forever. Stop.
10 days.
Stop.
It doesn't go on for that long. Let's move to the intriguing results from opening weekend of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Sabres were down 2-0 to the Bruins with less than 8 to play, and then scored 4 times to get their first playoff win in 15 years. The Golden Knights kept rolling under Torts, winning their opener over the Mammoth, and the Canadiens topped the Lightning in OT. Tone, your biggest NHL headline from the weekend was what?
I want to say Tortorella. I want to give him all the credit in the world. He came to the team. They fired their coach with 8 games left. He won 7. He still has not been beaten in regulation because they lost an overtime game. Then he gets to the playoffs and he wins the first game. And I want to say this is all about him because they were down 2-1 in the third period. But no, you have to say Buffalo because Buffalo was down 2-0 in the third period. Let's go over what they did. 8 minutes to go, down 2-0. They scored 7:58. They score again to tie at 4:16. They score again to take the lead at 3:24 to go. They score an empty netter with 1:12 to go. So they go from 0-2 to 4-2 in about 6.5 minutes. And they've not been in the playoffs in 15 years. It's the first game they have won in 15 years. I don't, did Boston leave the ice in the third period? How could that happen?
I want to concentrate on Buffalo. Boston's had its successes and its Cup trophy. Boston's had everything. Buffalo, it's been so long, and people who were in that building say it was dead. And I have spent enough time in Buffalo with the football team and the despair over losing playoff games. They've gotten in the playoffs, and they've won some home games, but they've lost the biggest games. And there's carryover. You know how small Buffalo is relative. To other places and what that means, those two teams in that city. And so it's just like, oh, my God. I happened to turn on. It was 2-0. I'm like, oh, poor Sabres. This is going to go the way of Buffalo. Good for them. But let me mention Edmonton, because Edmonton, the headline hasn't happened yet. Edmonton hasn't played yet. They're going to play Anaheim tonight. And guess who's back after a month away? Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Leon Draisaitl, who was having a great season when he got hurt and was said to, he's going to miss the regular season, the rest of it. He did. But he's back for the playoffs. Can they get to the final a third consecutive time? And if they do, could they win since Florida's not around?
Can I go back to Buffalo for a second? They're only the second team in the history of the NHL to win a playoff game in regulation down multi-goals with 8 minutes or less to go. You know the last team was that did that?
Ooh.
A team called the New York Americans. I don't know who they are.
Wow.
And I grew up in New York.
Wow.
In 1940. That's 86 years ago. If I was actually that old that we said at the beginning of the show, I'd have been a kid at that point.
So
it's 86 years ago.
The original 6, we know who they are. Where the Americans
I honestly don't know. Oh, one small fact.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay has now lost 8 of their last 9 games at home in the playoffs. They won the Cup recently twice, 2020, 2021. Mike, there's probably guys on that team who were on those teams.
Now they can't get it.
That's weird. Home. Let's move to the NFL. This is not a draft story, but it has implications for the upcoming draft. The Giants traded their disgruntled Pro Bowl defensive tackle, Dexter Lawrence, to defense-hungry Cincinnati for the 10th pick in the draft, giving the Giants the 5th and 10th picks. And today, Adam Schefter of ESPN is saying the Eagles will trade A.J. Brown to the Patriots after June 1st. Got to wait till then because of cap considerations. Wilbon, which is the more intriguing NFL news?
This isn't close to me. I'm tired of A.J. Brown. I think A.J. Brown has essentially outlived his usefulness. All these people who say
always open.
And he's a number one. He's reading.
Always open.
He's reading a book or he's on a Peloton.
Always open.
Move him over here. This trade the Giants made with the Bengals is intriguing to me. The Bengals are having to almost audition. Their front office has to audition to keep Joe Burrow.
Yes.
And Joe Burrow, if we believe that Joe Burrow really is this tough a guy, he's looking to see what kind of effort is being put forth by his front office to bring some players, and particularly on the defensive side. Cincinnati's got offensive players, and particularly the receiving core, to win the Super Bowl with if Joe Burrow, by the way, can be healthy. He's got to be upright. But I don't know Dexter Lawrence has as much left as he appeared to have 2 and 3 years ago. He's, just shy of 30 still. He should have a lot left.
I think he does.
Okay, but you can, with the 5 and the 10, if you're the Giants in this draft, you can get 2 linemen, an edge, and a tackle who can really turn it around.
If you're the Giants, I'm not saying it's a bad thing for the Giants.
Okay,
I'm saying it's a good thing for Cincinnati. Both. And I'm also saying it's more important than A.J. Brown because it has actually happened. A.J. Brown may or may not be traded.
June 1st, it sounds like it's got to happen.
Okay, fine. That's fine. You're right. Joe Burrow called them out. Said, we got to stop doing this. We got to get better than this. They had already given him great wide receivers. Now they go out in free agency. They signed 2 defensive linemen and a safety, and now they bring in Dexter Lawrence. Because the last person you want to say out loud, we got to change things, is a Pro Bowl quarterback. Because you don't want to lose a Pro Bowl quarterback. So it appears to me that Cincinnati is actually trying hard. When you say you don't know what he has left, they get 40 a game with Burrow. They only have to hold somebody to 38. Well, they don't have to have the best defense. It's got to be better.
He didn't have a terrific 2025 season. And he was hurt, and he just wasn't in 2025 what he had been in, 22,
I'd
3,
bet
and
on
4.
him. I would bet on him.
You would think there'd be a bounce-back season in him, a guy who can literally anchor that defensive line in a way that they hadn't.
We are talking about two teams right now. New England, because that's where A.J. Brown is headed.
Yeah.
New England and Cincinnati, that could be Super Bowl contenders right now. The New England went to the Super Bowl. I bet Drake May is very happy about this because they went to the Super Bowl without a great wide receiver. My understanding is Mike Vrabel coached him in Tennessee. Maybe they have a
He's going to fall in line now, we all think.
Well, I don't know about that because I tend to agree with you that A.J. Brown is problematic. But
it's overstated
always
at this
open.
point.
Always open. Let's take a break. Coming up, our thoughts on David Robinson and Tim Duncan turning out to watch Victor Wembanyama's. Time to validate the viewers in mail time. I'm going to get the first one and read it to you.
Mail time?
Validation.
Need some glasses. What's your word for seeing David Robinson and Tim Duncan turn out to watch Wemby score 35 in Game 1?
This was great. They couldn't put the two of them on the screen enough for me. Somebody who covered the entire careers of both Tim Duncan and, yes, David Robinson from the time he was in high school in Northern Virginia, right around the corner from where we sit. And I love seeing them on the screen. Old goats. That's my word.
Old goats.
Old goats. And by the way, that's a Billy goat right there on the screen now. And he is, we talked about this on your podcast this morning, you can't turn away. If Victor Wembanyama was playing, the moves he makes, the defense he plays, he's got at some point, with Drew Holiday, it looks like he's shooting over a small building. Because when he extends from 7'4" to whatever the reach is, you can't get the ball over. It's like getting the ball over the sun. So defensively, he changes the game. Offensively, he's pulling up, hitting threes, turnaround threes like Larry Bird. It's unbelievable. He is going to be in the GOAT discussion in a minute and a half. Yeah. But those are old GOATs that we're watching.
So a couple of months ago, you started acting like his press agent, and you're back there. So it makes me happy. Yep. Even though I was saying to you they were the best team in the league at that point, and you said, oh, no. But
I believe they are the best team. I just don't think they can.
So my word is lineage, as in, ancestral lineage, because you start with David Robinson. He plays there 8 years. Tim Duncan joins him. He and Robinson win 2 together, and Duncan wins 3 more. All right? And so they go to see if this kid is the real deal. The same as us. We all want to see the same thing. There is something going on now in basketball and baseball where it is possible with Wembanyama and Shohei Ohtani that we're watching the greatest players of all time.
It's possible.
I mean,
we're going to, down the line,
so
we're going to look back and say, okay.
Wembanyama was asked if the weight of their presence was intimidating in any way. And this is his quote. I wouldn't say weight, no. I would say I feel safe. It feels like if you trip, there are a lot of hands ready to catch you. That is such a great quote and makes those guys feel so good. Yeah, it's really amazing. It's really amazing.
He is amazing.
Am
I reading this?
Yes, you read.
Is it another Wembanyama email?
No.
Okay. Are you more focused on Matt Fitzpatrick winning at Harbortown or Scottie Scheffler nearly chasing him down?
Well, Scottie Scheffler did chase him down.
He did.
Because on the 18th hole, Matt Fitzpatrick bogeyed, causing a playoff. I was on the phone with you. You were distraught. Yeah. You thought Northwestern Purple was going to go down in a heap in that playoff. Yeah. And I had to talk you out of all of this screaming nonsense because what happened in that playoff?
How about that shot right there?
Fitz,
the 4-iron.
Right, a 4-iron, 202 yards to 13 feet. And Scheffler may have been rattled because his shot came up short, so he was not going to birdie that hole. Short. Matty Fitz knocks it in the way that he had that par-7 putt on 11, and he wins, and he's now number 3 in the world, Matt Fitzpatrick. So you should feel, and by the way, Scottie Scheffler finished second in the Masters, finished second at Harbortown. Yeah. He's always, you have to always put your head on a swivel. You have to look at him.
You do. And that's what Matty Fitz might have looked away at some point and flubbed that chip that wound up about 22 feet short. But what's
the hole before.
Important to point out is Matt Fitzpatrick has now won one more tournament than Scottie Scheffler
This year.
season.
This year. Yes.
2-1. And he lost one in a playoff. Matty Fitz did. I mean, he's having a great summer. He mentioned he's number 3 now.
Yeah, I'm feeling
hasn't caught Scottie yet, and Scottie's still number 1.
Yeah.
But this, you know what? He's won something called the U.S. Open.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
Matt Fitzpatrick
not his first rodeo.
into this summer.
Not his first rodeo.
Right.
That's right.
And it's the second time he's won at Harbor Town.
Yep.
And I just think that this sets up pretty well if you want to look at something that could be budding, a matchup. I'm not going to say a rivalry for the coming weeks. We got the PGA and then some tournaments, and then we got the Open.
You know, Rory's going to play in these too. I mean, you know that.
He's number 2, a distant 2.
Rory is going to play.
A distant 2.
Isn't Harbor Town where they give you that plaid jacket?
Yes.
That's the plaid
Yes,
jacket. Would you wear that on the air?
No.
No, I would. I'd wear it. I'd wear it on the air. Send me a plaid jacket from
Don't
Harbor
send
Town
him a
as if I won.
jacket.
That's enough email. 42 long. Let's take one last break. Still to come, the Mets losing streak. The Mets of your youth. It reaches 11.
And was this hug the last one? Steve Kerr, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green are going to share during the game.
That's one of the greatest playoff shots I've ever seen. Matty Fitz's second shot.
It was
on 18.
amazing, that shot.
But I mean, there are not that many playoffs, so you're not judging it against that many things. That's a great shot.
You wonder if Scottie Scheffler got rattled. Does he
Maybe.
get rattled?
I don't think so. But